Hi, hello, welcome to Spell Day, where we've covered a spell every single day of the year from the 5e PHB +3. And those +3 are homebrew spells, which we have the revisions right here. Welcome to Spell Day. Honestly, thank you. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a meme for this one.
Nice.
So because each of these spells got their own, videos covering, just the general theming, the idea behind them, and the bulk of what it kind of is, it's more of a discussion. I mean, you could still find in the description the printed reversions of these, or at least the text of the revision of these. And, you're still welcome to mention in the comments, like, some things still change or not, but just, this is from reading through all the comments on the previous videos, and the adjustments I've made on them based off of those suggestions. Which, trust me, nothing remained the same. Well, stuff did, but all the spells did change. So on Blessing Seal, a handful of things changed. One, the price went down, and the level went up. Level went up to 2nd, price went down to 15, and a lot of the wording was just fixed. It wasn't the best wording. It was one of the earlier spells I did, and I didn't really go through and change those notes. So that's been cleared up. It now says it allows for a reroll, so you can decide whether you want to use it on that natural one on a damage dice as well. But in any case, you get to decide whether you're using it or not. So you can save it for an attack that really matters, on whether to avoid an attack that really matters or to deal an attack that really matters. A spellcaster casting this can only have 6 seals from them up at a time, so you don't run into the issue that others brought up of just keep spending this gold and just have an entire stockpile of weapons. No, it's limited to 6 based off each spellcaster. It's a bit rough and kind of thrown in just a random number to keep it locked in, but it's a solution. And then the other thing was upcasting. So some brought up upcasting of either limiting the number and then upcasting to increase the number. It's a bit strange, or how long it lasted. I went for one of the other options someone brought up, which maybe it does damage. You break the seal and there's some kind of burst of radiant damage. So when you upcast to 4th level or higher, now whenever it's expended, it does 2d6 to either the person attacking you on the armor or the person you're trying to attack. Keyword there, in the way it's written, you might see, it just says it does radiant damage. It's not adding it to the attack, it just does that damage. No save or anything either, which, seal, that's quite nice seal. 2 other things I wanted to note. The other person that mentioned tools, I have actually incorporated that into the various magic items that use this spell as a base, because you don't really need to have a spell known to base an item off of. So I use that one for tools. This is more of a combat-focused spell itself, and also to not have the description too large, or what the upcasting does with tools and the radiant damage, especially with that redesign. And then to the Age of Reckoning. Yes, it is there's such a nice aesthetic. Alright, Poison Chorus actually had a few changes. Again, some things just clearing up the writing and mechanically making it run a bit smoother. Quite a few changes though. One, its level went down to 2nd. However, it's now an action instead of a bonus action. The ritual tag is gone, and it only affects allies' weapons that are wielded and are melee. A lot of changes there from just a pile of weapons that is on a creature, and ammunition and arrows, so it's just melee. That limits it quite a bit. When it comes to the failing the next save, the entire wording that's changed now to just, they can only make the save to break out of the poison effect if they haven't been hit by a blade in the last round. So kind of like Fear, where you need to, or like the Fear spell itself, where you need to get away and block line of sight to then be able to break it. This is just not get hit. Some of the other people in the comments have definitely seen it, and just to reiterate that one, it's firmly fallen into the category of NPC spell. Higher levels and for adventuring parties, you're not really going to be using this too often. Low level's pretty nice. Really falls off. But NPCs wise, a horde of goblins with this. Ooh, the other one. Bard got dropped, Druid got placed on there. Oh, and then actually a last thing, the name. That was a bit of a setting thing, but also the idea of like a group of weapons or a crowd of people dying from being poisoned. So it's the poison chorus. A little bit of a stretch, more lore setting thing. Campaign I wrote this for. Vile Portent as well has received quite a bit of change. So it's 2nd level instead of 3rd level. It now has a slight gold cost requirement, only 5 gold pieces, but you need a broken set of fancy glasses or monocle of some kind. The big one though, and thank you all because I don't know how that got past me, quite, but the int requirement to try and avoid the bag of rats problem. Also, they're not affecting undead or constructs. Yes, that gets funky with vampires, but just to keep it simple, because wisps also have 13 intelligence for some reason. So just keeping it simple, saying it can't do undead or constructs. Instead of giving you a portent dice and just saying that and trying to take a class ability, now it just gives, if an enemy saves and gets their use of it, it's a +5 for the enemy, until a rest or the spell is cast again. And for you, you get a -6 you can apply to any creature's roll within 60 feet of you. Nope, it didn't say you had to see them. How often would that come up? And you can only have one of these at a time. Same for the enemy, same for you, and it's bound to the spellcaster. So if that spellcaster casts Vile Portent again, they're either going to keep that +5 because they pass the save again, or you're going to get that -5 because they're dead. There's also an ally option now, so you can, if there is a willing target for this, blast them with it. They take 2d6 psychic damage. If they pass the save, take half that, and then, you know, they get the +5. And an upcast option, which other people had brought up, which increases the damage by 2d6 every level, and also increases the bonus or minus respectively by 1. A really high level upcasted Vile Portent on like just a poor peasant is really good. Because as much as that might seem really strong, that's kind of what I wanted to lean into, because you still need a high enough int creature to then force this upon them and get that minus, to then take that resource from them. Kind of like, I mean, if you've seen the Vampiric Touch video, you know what I mean by like, use of commoners. Adds a nice, like, vile flair to it. Well, I mean, it's Vile Portent. Debated on the name. Someone mentioned Omen, but that's just a me thing, because also in another spell, another homebrew spell of mine, it uses Omen. 2 different omens. Anywho, I'm quite happy with the changes to all of these. Interested to see what people will say. A lot of these suggestions weren't universal picks or choices or things that people brought up. These are the ones that I just looked through. Either some of these were popular, some of these I agreed with, and I mean, this is just what came out. And I'm done. I don't have to stand over there. There's no rating for this video. 365 days by today. I'm recording this after midnight. Wow. Whole year. That is a whole year of my life. Whew. Thank you. And honestly, thank you. I've said the same thing twice. To those of you who have been along this ride, no matter when you joined, I mean, thank you. This has been such a crazy journey, which is going to continue after this, and it's just... not a day. Wasn't always on schedule, but never was a day late. Time zone wise. Set it out. It's a task. got it done. But here we are, the end of spell a day. 5e PHP plus 3, but... Wow. I mean, the catalog's not going anywhere. It's not Unis Annus. It's not disappearing. Ooh. The catalog, it's a video for every spell in the PHP for someone to reference. Huh. Thank you. I don't know how many times I can say thank you, and that we're here. This is actually happening. 365 days. A full year. Daily videos. Oh, man. Whew. Have a nice day. And if you're not, I hope you have one.